So what it comes down to is I want to welcome you to another episode. Oh my gosh, we're getting better still. You, me, and everybody listening. As we tend to grow and be thinkers, doers, achievers, dreamers, and the likes, we have so much potential. And what it comes down to is just that. And that is, there's some really cool things going on in the media these days and the likes. Oh my gosh, have you guys heard of this movie? It's the Black Panther. Have I seen it? Not as of yet. Is it good? I mean, people are seeming to love it. It's made here in the United States, approximate 521 million in running. So for what it's worth, that's domestically, and it's already crossing over the $1 billion mark worldwide. So that's one of the that makes it among the elite of as far as movies and the likes because. There's not a tremendous amount of movies that are on that massive level in scale. And just this quick. I mean, I know it starts off very large and then it decreases over time. But still, it's literally been from what I've researched in the likes a month, and it's already crossing over the $1 billion mark at the 26th day of the movie release worldwide. It's crossing over the $1 billion mark. I mean, that's a tremendous movie. So maybe I should see it, but I'm not the type of guy to want to wait in line in the likes to go spend money. I mean, obviously to each his own, and it's enjoyment, and it can be family fun. And I think the movie, as far as I'm concerned, or realize or know, it stands for something very valuable. In the likes, just overall that. What is it? A community that's highly advanced technologically and has never been conquered. Is that what it's about? I mean, leave a comment in the newsfeed below and let me know if that's wrong or that's right. I really haven't did any research about the movie, just the statistical fact about the economics behind the movie. Oh my gosh, and this movie must be good because it is raking in dough like it's one of the greatest movies of all time. So for what it's worth, maybe a powerful movie, and maybe it stands for something, and maybe it's also just good entertainment because they're loving it in China, Korea, all over the world. Even here, especially here domestically, but all over the world. They're really seeming to enjoy the movie and the motherfucking likes. So for what it's worth. Will I have to go see it? I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to. I mean, the way I'm pressing it and the way that's making money. I mean, I guess it's good. And at this point, you're probably hopeful or wishful or thanking God that you purchased stock in Disney. Because it's a value investing, it's a strong company, and overall they keep making these movies that they recruit the best talent and they get these movies that are just making billions of dollars. I mean, that's good for company morale and for stock price and the motherfucking likes over the long-term motherfucking horizon. And again, pardon the curses, but sometimes necessary. And to the kids out there, apologies. Cursing is not good, but sometimes life is very real. And there's certain times where you should avoid cussing, and I'm not suggesting you do cuss, but at the same token, sometimes life can be real, and of course I'm 26 at this point, so there's a lot of real sentiments in here. So try to I'll try and scratch that. I'm gonna try to stop cussing, but sometimes you just gotta be yourself, and for what it's worth, we're getting better still, having too much fun, and It's more of a grown-up conversation, but sometimes kids need to hear the real too, So for what it's worth, we're getting better still. This movie Black Panther, oh my god, oh my gosh, a bestseller. It seems, and it's just getting started. So for what it's worth, crazy times to be alive. But the coolest thing I really have to mention today on this episode is just that, and that is. Oh my gosh, this is so cool, man. This innovation, this is when technology is our friend. And I think technology is our friend most of the time. I really do believe that. I think technology is so cool. It's so helpful and the likes, but we don't want to get so ingrained with this fugazi of technology that we get confused with what's real and what's really important, I really do believe that we need to stay firm in a basis of realism and reality. But at the same token, we got to use these tools to help us better our real life, and live your dream life in real life, So that's really what it comes down to, and I think that's where technology lies. And you can make a lot of money selling technology that helps people, and helping people is God's gift, So for what it's worth, that's very valuable. But what this technology is coming to is that, there's becoming mechanisms and methods and the likes for totally. Expeditiously getting you paid. And that's a funny way to phrase it. I agree. But expeditiously getting you paid, as in if you work today, let's say you work 5 days a week or 6 days a week or whatever at your company. If you want half of your day's paycheck on the first day, or your whole first day's paycheck, so just your day's pay, whatever that is, it's a variable depending on the industry and the amount of lucrativeness of your total industry and your job description. But even for all jobs, from lower end entry level to higher tier jobs, if someone's cutting you a check, I mean, sometimes and it's cool because it expeditiously gets you paid, as in you can click a button and it deposits that money into your bank account for that day, or for those 3 days, or for that first 5 days, or whenever you need the cash that you've worked for. You don't have to wait 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a long time to wait. And especially, it's good motivation. I think all companies should implement this. This is my protocol and my philosophy. Any company that's writing checks should definitely, if they can afford to, via accounting measures and the likes. Some companies might not be able to afford it because their hand-to-mouth existence. But companies that have developed a little bit of stability and have a little bit of capital reserve can totally make it more lucrative for their employee base by giving them access to capital more readily. I think that's very, very cool, and especially for these lower income jobs and the likes. I mean, sometimes it's hand-to-mouth existences, paycheck to paycheck and the likes. So for what it's worth, giving access to the capital is the least you could do, so that if something comes up, and life is very, very expensive in a capitalistic society, So for what it's worth, if something comes up, they can get into that capital reserve, and for those 3 days they worked, and get that capital, and then get that cell phone bill paid, or get those bananas and grape juice at the store, So for what it's worth, that is very, very valuable and very, very cool, and I think that's very, very helpful, and I think it should be implemented across the board. I think that should be a standard measure for all companies that aren't exempt because of accounting lack of cash reserves. So that's my protocol, that's my philosophy on these things, and I think it's very, very valuable, and I think that's where technology can help you. And even for the high paid positions where money, that both the company that the individual is working for has cash reserves, and then even the employee has cash reserves, it's still more valuable to be able to have readily access to your capital that you worked for. Because at the same token, why not? I mean, if it can be afforded, then it's really good, because it's motivation. Keep you working hard. If you can get your money that day and you go back the next day, you have motivation to go hard in the paint, man. And I think that's good for morale. And I think that's what all digital content, digital companies are going to be implementing, because why would they not? It's just influential. It's just powerful, and it's just motivation for the streets, motivation for the employees, motivation for company morale, and just money is like a drug. I've heard references referring to it as almost as potent as cocaine, or even more potent than cocaine. So cocaine is very addictive. So is money. And although once you get money, it has the decrease of return on value, or whatever. The utility decreases, whatever that's called in economics. But over time it decreases the utility you receive as you get used to it. But at the same token, money, stimulates portions of the brain that is similar to a drug, and it's a very, very potent drug. So don't let money rule your life, but you need to have some. So at the same token, you can rule your own life and rule your own universe, and the universe will revolve around you. And that's really where the power lies, and that's what I'm recommending for yourself, and that's what I do for myself, and that's what I plan to do for myself as the universe revolves around you, and as the universe revolves around myself. So for what it's worth, this is a crazy, crazy time to be alive. And I'm thinking this is a special time, because, I think there's becoming more options and the likes. But, at the same token, you have to learn skills and the likes so that you can be competitive in this world, competitive economics. Because, in a capitalistic society, this is speaking solely based on America philosophy, America politics. And that is, capitalism will eat you alive. Capitalism can be good because there's lots of money, and it can let you feed yourself if you put in work and you learn skills and the likes. But at the same token, if you're just smoking weed and and not learning skills, and I'm not criticizing everybody, because I know some people, there's outliers and the likes, but same token, it's gonna be a sunk ship out here, because this world will eat you alive, man. Capitalism will eat you alive and steal your socks, your shoes, and your motherfucking tie, your motherfucking shirt, and everything. So fuck it, man. Get on your grind, work hard, and just real advice for the kids out there. Pardon the curses, but some real advice, and even for the millennials, even for the baby boomers. Everybody knows this to be true, and sometimes you learn the hard way through losing your tie and your shirt, So, or your motherfucking socks, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't be out here without a shirt and a motherfucking your pants and your motherfucking your motherfucking slip-ons in your shoes. So stay on your grind and stay on your toes, and just realize you got to put in work, and sometimes that's where the value lies. So I'm hoping this is coming through clear. And my main sentiment was just that I wanted you to realize how cool this instant pay, this whole protocol of instant pay that many companies with cash reserves are going to implement. And I recommend they do. Just as my godly gift of advice. My consultation that's on the house. If you listen to my podcast, is just that, and that is. This is a really good measure to complement employees from the top tier. If you're cutting checks to executives, then give them access to their pay. I mean, why not? If you're cutting checks to the more manual labor, or not even manual labor, less intricate positions, they definitely, even more than the executives, need access to their pay. So if you have to implement a measure, it should be that the lower end tier employees get access to their pay readily, as fast as possible. And then the executives can wait, because I know some people, even executives can overspend at times and the likes, because when you get more money, it's easier to spend more money. But at the same token, it's a measure that all companies with capital reserves need to cut checks as fast as possible to their lower tier employees. That's just my measure, and I think that's good, unless you're exempt because of accounting purposes. So for what it's worth, I think this is valuable. I think we're coming on to good sentiments, and what it's coming to is that we're getting better. We're gonna live richer, fuller, more prosperous, and more fulfilling lives. And either it comes through hard work, discipline, diligence, and just networking and staying on our motherfucking toes. So I want you to be on the lookout. I'm writing a book, and my goal is to write it in one take. Oh my gosh. Now that's skill, and do I have that much skill? I mean, I'm praying. I got my fingers crossed, and I'm so confident that as humbly as I possibly can admit, I will. And what you think is, what you think is literally what will be. What will be is what you think. Bam, blew my fucking mind, man. Profound, man. So this is a really good time to be alive. We gotta stay on our toes, Thank God for life, and realize that no, maybe we're not perfect, but we're getting better still, and we're learning, and that's half the battle. And I think that we are perfect, but at the same token, I'm not perfect, but you may be perfect, and I see a lot of I think a lot of people, you're perfect. Don't get it twisted, but at the same token, we still have a lot to learn, a lot to grow, and we can get better still. And I like to keep perfection as more of an idealism than actual reality, because then if you're not chasing growth, if you're not chasing improvement and self-improvement and higher self-worth, then what are you chasing? What's worth living for? As has been suggested in hip hop, the journey is everything. Oh my gosh. And that's by Russ. So go ahead and follow him. And just realize you're coming with the realist. And this is Gabriel here checking in. And I'm checking out at this point. And I want to thank you again for checking in. And just realize you need to follow, like, share, comment, subscribe. The realest conversation in the world. We are having it here live. And we are coming with the most potent conversation, the realest conversation, and the most comfortable conversation. So for what it's worth, check in, like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, and we'll talk very, very soon. Thank you for bearing into this episode, and we'll talk very, very soon. Catch us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and the motherfucking likes. Okay, peace.